I'm really wealthy, I don't need to spend that.
Right.
You can invest, and there's also, I used Help to Save. I don't know if you've come across that. If you're on a low income, the government had a thing called Help to Save, and they give you basically 50%, well actually it might even be 100%. So it's the highest interest you get on an amount of money. You can put in any amount from £1 up to £50 a month, and after, I think, a few years, 2 or 3 years, it ends and they pay you back what you've gained. But it encourages you to save. And I think I probably I put 2,000 in and got 4,000 back. And they pay the first amount after so many months, and they pay the next bit, and then that's it. You can't rejoin it and do it again, but it's worth looking into. It's still running, I believe.
Okay.
At least you got something back from your bills. If you hadn't got that back, and that's fine for the car. And
So I would point out as well, I didn't say this, but I did actually pay off all my debts. So I'm completely debt-free, I have no credit cards, I don't loan anything. And there's a little saying, isn't there? Don't be a borrower or a lender, never a lender or borrower be. And the truth of that is that when you lend money to somebody, you're always thinking, I wonder when they're going to give it me back. They're always thinking, oh, I'm going to have to give it back. I'm really worried about paying it back because, I owe this as well. So it doesn't really work. But if I say, I just give you some money, and I do it with an open heart and say, I just want to have that, they don't feel beholden to you, and you don't think, oh, I wonder when they're going to pay that back. Because it's a much better way of managing. So I never lend any money to anyone, and I never borrow any off anyone. But I will give it to them if it feels right.
I was just to say that there are lots of old adages like that, aren't there, that have been built up over hundreds of years of people's wisdom. Like we say, neither a borrower nor a lender be. All these things, and we learn these things, don't we?
Yeah, but we never question them or ask what they mean. And it's only when you take two of them apart you kind of think, well, actually, that doesn't apply now. It's the same with your beliefs about things. Another one was when I was at school and being bullied by a kid there. Years later, I was about to cross paths with this person again, and I thought, he's going to bully me again. But I thought, hang on a minute, I'm whatever age I'm at, and we're all grown up. He's got a family, I've got a family. He's not that kid anymore. So I agreed to meet him, and we got on like a house on fire. And he didn't even remember bullying me. He said he was sorry. He said, I was watching a program the other night and I saw something about bullying. He said, I turned to my wife and said, I used to be like that. But interestingly, he can't remember actually specifically doing anything to me.
And no, because it wasn't important to him.
No, that's right. Yeah,
you were probably just one of many, or the one at that time.
Yeah.
You'd be another one some other time.
So, but I thought he was fixated on me, but he wasn't.
No.
But it's interesting when we question a belief that we've held and actually erase that belief, and you feel so much better because you kind of think that belief served me in a way at the time, maybe offered me some protection because if I saw him I'd go somewhere else. But now it's residual. It's in my, I don't need it anymore, so I can clear that one out.
That's what I was going to say. There's a lot of things I'm going to say. I'm not going to say that. But this whole thing about memory, you see. They're going about don't keep remembering bad memories, but then you want to remember good memories. So you have to kind of remember everything, a lot, don't you? See what I mean? You can't just say, I only want the good memories.
No, but you can actually acknowledge the bad memories and say, well, I didn't enjoy that at the time. It did upset me, but I'm going to let it go. I'm not going to put as much.
It's letting it go.
I'm not going to put as much energy. And a great thing to let it go, and you can look on my website, is Ho'oponopono. It's I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. And if you keep reciting that, you'll still remember, but it takes the sting out of the tail. It makes it more bearable, and eventually you will forget it or not be as worried or upset by it.
You've got that in here, haven't you?
I use it quite a bit because it works really, really well, and as a byproduct of using that, it actually has increased my income. Not because I was trying to increase my income, but as a byproduct, it just happened.
Can I? Sorry. Well, what's my feelings are that you're a very fortunate person. all through your life. You may not have known that or realised it or acknowledged it even, but because you were born to a comfortably off family, you may not think so, but your parents were teachers, one was, which meant a job for life in those days, with a guaranteed income, which we didn't have. We're sisters, we didn't have that as parents. I don't say that they managed and they were never in debt, and they paid their way, but there was never an income guaranteed. And I have another friend who actually mentioned earlier, and she was a daughter of a deep teacher, and she always taught us over on the bottom. And the work, I said, your father had a job for life. Maybe not now, but in those days, nobody criticised the teacher, did they? Whatever he did. So they were very comfortably off. And somebody lent them money to buy a house, right? Which was not through a bank or anything, So she was very lucky, and now she's the one who still goes to charity shops because she's a student in her head and she hasn't got any money.
She's 75.
She's 75, by the way. Like you were saying though, I go to a charity shop, but not because I'm trying to get a jumper that's cheap, because I might find something pretty that I like, and that's a want. It is a different mindset, I totally agree.
It's all about mindset, isn't
it is about mindset,
saying.
We're doing the same thing, but totally different reason.
But also, different people have different things to learn about.
Yes, and you have to examine how you feel about
and we can all
that.
solve everyone else's problems, but we can't always solve our own. So we will solve someone else's because that's easier.
But I imagine you had long hair, didn't you?
Yeah.
I thought you did.
Well, I had it down to. It took ages to grow it. I did have it down to my shoulders at one point.
I could see you as a young man. I thought, yeah. Well, no, I mean, it's partly it's not your fault. It's your upbringing. It's the expectations. Isn't it, of your background with your parents as well, and what you thought you would be as you went to work.
I think I probably thought that I would end up with a similar environment to them.
Yeah.
But it was then I realised what it took to get that environment, and things have changed. In terms of mortgages and things for properties, it would only have been a relatively small percentage of your income in those days, whereas now it's sort of like 10 times your income or something, so that's a different system. But one of the reasons I started to rent was because I wanted to live somewhere nice, and I couldn't buy anything. I wasn't in a position to buy anything, but even if I could have bought anything, it wasn't going to be a very nice place, and I thought I'd rather just rent somewhere I enjoy. So I had a farmhouse on the edge of the moors at £17 a week, and it went up to 23 when I moved down there back again. And you can move if you don't like your neighbours.
That's true, yeah.
So, anybody else got any other questions? No, that was really interesting, Richard. Thank you very much. I'm sure we'll review our ideas about money and values and everything that goes with it. Don't forget, I think you probably will have a look, but if you haven't, Richard's books are over there. And great.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you.